Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Castor. For those of you who do, welcome back. So for today's video, as you can see, I mentioned to you that I was going to be talking about my health updates, and of course I had to have my special guest, which is the hubby. And so he is a part of all of this long journey that I've been, and I thought it was appropriate to have him take part in this video because he's been my everything. He has been there for me through all of this, and he is my support. He is my best friend. We have been together actually for 18 years. That is crazy. We were kids. But yeah, so I thought he would be the perfect person to also explain. I am the worst at explaining when it comes to medical terms. He is like an encyclopedia. He can tell you all the right things. I am obviously more fashion, art, and he's more mathematics, science. So we cannot be more complete opposite, but it works. So anyway, I thought we would jump right into the whole health issue, and I wrote down a couple of things. I want to make sure that I went on every single point so that maybe if other people are suffering from similar things to me, that maybe it can help you as well to try new things, and hopefully that'll work for you as well. It's been such a huge journey. There's so many different areas to go in that I'm going to try to condense it the best way I can. So I'm going to start off with some of my health issues. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I suffer from endometriosis. I have autoimmune. I have a lot of inflammation throughout my body. I've also suffered from kidney stones. I also have a mass on my ovary, an 8 centimeter mass. I have interstititis. I never know how to say that word.
Interstitial cystitis.
That's the word. I always say interstititis. I don't know what. I don't know why I say this, but yes. So
inflamed kidney.
An inflamed. Well, that's what I've been dealing with. So recently, I have had a horrible couple of months. I've mentioned to you, like I did little snippets telling you that I've been sick and dealing with some health issues. And recently I have been dealing with a lot of issues with stomach ulcers, where every time I would eat, I would be in agonizing pain. And then 2 hours later, I would have the runs. And it's been an ongoing thing for months. And so we went to the doctor.
Doctor was useless.
The doctor.
Why not? I thought we were being honest here.
Like I mentioned to you guys, the medical system for me, and that's just a personal opinion, have failed me. I have been dealing with the medical system since I am a kid. So I have seen how the medical system works, and you know, it's pretty much a try as you go kind of thing. They give you all kinds of medication that make you more sick, so they're never trying to find the root cause of the problem, which is a big issue.
The problem with the medical system is more that they want to treat the symptoms because it's very profitable for them to treat the symptoms, but they don't go to the cause of the issue to fix the issue, because there's no money in the cure. There's only money in treatment, lifetime treatment. So the medical system wants to treat you and not cure you, and that's the issue.
Yeah, so well said. So yeah, exactly. So we went to the doctor because at some point it was getting out of control. And so we went, the doctor did a few tests on me. Well, so the conclusion is that I have stomach ulcers, and that my gallbladder doesn't secrete enough of that, what is it, the liquid? Bile juice. So anyway, well,
if I can explain why.
Yeah, okay, you explain it.
So the issues seem to be, there was two problems with her stomach and her digestion. The first one was pain was coming in 45 minutes after she was eating something, and then it subsided a little bit, and then it came back about an hour and a half later. So the first pain was probably due to a stomach ulcer. The second pain was probably due to a duodenum ulcer, which are two different problems. The bile salts in the gallbladder were probably too thick and not flowy enough. So when you eat a lot of fat, or you need to neutralize the acid of the stomach, the gallbladder is there to squish out some juices to neutralize the acid. If you don't produce enough of that, or if it's too sludgy, like molasses or like a thick substance and it's not liquid enough, then you won't be able to neutralize the acid. It's going to be too acid in the intestine, and then your body's going to want to dump some water in the intestine to give you the runs to maybe, basically evacuate the acidity. So that's why she was having the runs every time.
Yeah, and we should explain, okay, because I have always been on a plant-based diet for many years. Plant-based, that's pretty much how I would describe my diet.
Yeah, vegan, plant-based.
And I was not well on that. I was not feeling good. I was low on energy. I had all of my health issues. So we decided to go in the more keto route. and eat more high fats, meats, cheese,
The
all of
problem
that.
with the vegan diet is there's not a lot of fat in the vegan diet. And because there's not a lot of fat and not a lot of animal proteins, it doesn't require as much acidity in the stomach to digest. Therefore, the gallbladder is not being used. So for 20 years as a vegan,
Yes.
you barely use your gallbladder. You use it, but not a lot. So for 20 years, it was becoming less in use. So when you start to change that, and then she started doing higher fat and animal protein, which requires more of the gallbladder, then
my body was all
yeah,
going in a whole bunch of different directions. I was feeling like I had more energy. I was feeling better, but every time I would eat was an issue. So that was a big thing that I have been going through for the past couple of months. Other issues is I'm sure that I have some, emotional traumas that have carried on into my health. And I know it's not for everybody that believes that, but I do believe that emotional traumas, anxiety, all of that fun stuff can manifest itself in your health and how you feel in your body. It does play a part in it. I have been working on that as best as I can, whether it's eliminating people that are toxic, vampires as they call them, and trying to focus on, making us happy and me happy. I think that is a start. Another issue that I've been having is a lot of joint pain. So we are in the process of figuring out if it's RA. Because
RA is rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. And so that is still something, it's all autoimmune, right? So it's all interconnected. Since the medical system failed us, what we were trying to do, and especially my husband, has been doing a lot of research, trying to find the best solutions to help me. So we are trying to do this, obviously, a more holistic way, less medical way, because medical system for me and for us has failed us.
Our best guess for the RA is she probably has some heavy metal toxicity, probably mercury toxicity. So we're trying to remove the mercury slowly, and see if it's going to improve the symptoms of RA or rheumatoid arthritis, and maybe other symptoms that are related to autoimmune issues. So that's the big question, or the big
hypothesis.
Yeah, that's the big hypothesis. Hypothesis? How do you?
Hypothesis.
That's the big hypothesis that we have at the moment. So we're trying to remove the mercury with something called ALA, which is alpha lipoic acid, and hopefully that can slowly, over the next few months, few years, slowly remove the mercury from her body.
I think there's so many issues that it's finding the root cause and starting one at a time is what we're trying to do. Process of elimination, right? That's what we're trying to do. We are slowly getting rid of one. Another thing I used to get a lot of is canker sores. I used to bite myself and then right away I would get canker sores. But
for 2 weeks, big ones for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I would be in super pain. I'd get huge migraines. I can go on a list of health issues that I have. But some of them because of the change of diet and some of the things that we're going to talk about that have helped me tremendously. I get no more canker sores. Every period, I used to be in bed for 2 days. Like I cannot get up. I can't even go downstairs, get some food. I'm in agonizing pain. I suffer from endometriosis. And so it's been a couple of months since we changed a lot of the things, and I take no Advils. I used to take bottles of Advil. I could not take Advil because I would probably pass out of the pain. So
and that might have been
that probably caused the stomach ulcers. Exactly. So now I have no more pain. I didn't even know what it felt like to have a period with no pain. It's crazy. Those are like two things that I have noticed. My energy level,
energy is still up and down.
Energy is still up and down, but I feel I have a little bit more than.
But I think the energy is related to the mercury. That's my opinion.
So, okay, let's go into the whole what we have been doing. So those are some of my health issues that I've been dealing with. So we're going to talk about, well, you should talk about some of the things because I'm the worst.
Okay. So
because you're the one who has come up with a lot of things that have helped me. And so we'll talk about some of the things that we have been doing and that I have been doing for a couple of months, not even, it's been a couple of months.
Well, we started at different stages, so
yeah, but in
we
general,
didn't start everything at the same time.
Yeah, so it hasn't been like a week, it's been a couple of months. So it gives us enough time to see a little bit of changes and how I'm feeling.
The first step was obviously to cut all medication like Advil, Tylenol, to cut all of that because they all have side effects. So that's one thing you've done.
That was one thing,
It was at least 6 months ago that you stopped pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. For the stomach ulcers and the duodenum ulcers, which is the small part of the intestine, what we did for that is we gave her something called Beet Flow. It's the beet green, concentrated beet green in a pill. And the purpose of that is to liquefy the bile juices in the gallbladder. If it's more liquefied, then you can squirt more of that out. And you
That
can...
word squirt. I can't even deal with it. It's just
What's
the
the
worst
word?
word. I don't know.
Okay.
Lubricate maybe, or I don't know.
No, it's not lubricate.
Liquefy.
It's because the gallbladder is like a little pouch, and there's a muscle.
Oh, that
squirts.
word,
Squirt is the right word. So
Okay.
It squirts bile juice in your intestine.
It sounds like...
So that seemed to fix the diarrhea issue. So she has no more diarrhea. What? What? You said the run. Same thing. What? We're not supposed to say that?
Say the runs. Oh,
Okay. Are we going to keep that part?
no, I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to keep that part. Okay, so
Diarrhea.
that stopped the runs. We're very different, basically. So that stopped her from going to number 3 all the time. What?
Okay, so she had the runs.
Okay. Then...
No, but you have to say it.
No, man, we said it. Then basically when you have a stomach ulcers, the doctors will tell you that you need antacid, and they're totally wrong. They're 100% wrong. Antacid will appease your symptoms, but it will make the problem worse. So what you have to do is the opposite. You have to take acid and not antacid. And here's why. When you have a stomach ulcer, it's most likely because of a bacteria called H. pylori. So the bacteria... Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the bacteria accumulates in your stomach because you have too little stomach acid, and the bacteria thrives on an alkaline environment. So if you take antacid, like the doctor prescribes you, it's going to appease the symptoms, but it's going to make the environment of your stomach more conducive for the H. pylori bacteria to keep growing. So it's going to make the problem worse and worse and worse. So what we did for her is the total opposite. First, we killed off the bacteria.
Yeah, because the doctor was saying that I needed to take antacids.
And we said no. There's
were
no
like,
way we're going to get rid of it.
It's a no. It's a flat out no.
Yeah.
Because we already knew about the antacids and how, long term it causes a lot more issues for your stomach and for a whole bunch of other problems. So it was a flat out no. So we did the complete opposite.
So if you have either stomach ulcers or gastritis, which is the inflammation of the stomach, what you need to do first is you need to kill off the bacteria. Doctors will give you antibiotics, but we don't want to take that. So what we did is ozone water. So she drank ozone water a couple times a day.
Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Before we get into that, let's go step by step of some of the things that we did change. And then we'll say sort of...
Which is for what? And,
yeah. Okay. So here are some of the things. We end up getting these. We bought these. I'm not saying that everyone has to go out there, but these are the things that have worked for me and have been...
Well,
helpful.
Each one of these
helpful
things has a purpose. So
it does.
It was appropriate for your symptoms and your problems.
And a lot of the things I'm saying is, they are costly, but to me are worth it. You can spend a lot of money on going and see doctors and prescriptions and medications. So it does accumulate. Rather than buying that, we invest in supplies.
Machines or supplies or supplements that help. That works for her.
So I'm not saying to go out there and you have to spend thousands of dollars, but these are the things that have worked for us.
I can go through the list quickly,
but then
we'll have to explain.
Okay, and then we'll explain exactly.
So basically, food-wise, she went from vegan to keto, which is high-fat, moderate amount of animal proteins.
Right.
Second, the hyperbaric chamber, which is a big kind of balloon that she goes in. You have seen,
I have talked about the hyperbaric chamber, and a lot of you have asked how that's going. So I'm gonna keep going. So yes, the hyperbaric chamber.
Third would be an ozone machine to produce our own ozone. Ozone is a gas, it's 3 molecules of oxygen, so it's O3. The same thing as the ozone layer. When you talk about the ozone layer, when you put that in your body, it does certain things. So an ozone machine. Supplement-wise, she's taking ALA for mercury, magnesium, potassium citrate for the kidney stones, B1 for the nerves, B12, beet flow, and betaine HCl. We'll talk about that. Apple cider vinegar. Probiotics, mastic gum, and D-limonase, that's to kill the bacteria in the stomach. Probiotics, we said cabbage juice was to heal the ulcer.
It's a whole long list. Bone broth.
And bone broth. Grass-fed.
Yeah.
Homemade bone broth, not store-bought.
Bone broth a la Alex.
Yeah.
He has done my bone broth. He is like, he cooks for me. I'm the worst cook.
Yeah, you don't want to make a bone broth made from bones of a cow full of hormones and antibiotics. You don't want those kind of bones. So you want a grass-fed bone broth that you make at home.
Right.
We bought a vitamin D lamp. It's a lamp that helps you increase your vitamin D level and not take the vitamin D pills because those are not good.
That's the thing. When I'm working so much, I'm fulfilling orders, I am doing YouTube videos, I'm preparing things. I am constantly inside and I'm not getting enough of the vitamin D exposure. So we decided to invest in a vitamin D lamp.
And the pills are really not the same thing.
Yeah, and the pills are just not the same. Exactly.
The pills will raise your blood serum level. So you're going to go to the doctor, they're going to make the test, and they're going to say, oh, your vitamin D level went up. But it's not the same thing inside of your body. Your body's not using it the same way as real vitamin D.
Right.
You also do red light therapy, castor oil packs.
Yes.
And letting go of bad, negative people in your life for anxiety.
Yes, definitely. That's on the top of the list, okay?
So,
and this year has been a lot of process of elimination, right? And that has been a big one emotionally. And I know some of you have also written messages saying that it probably does take a toll emotionally. Traumas, negative people in your life can be something extremely heavy for you and something that you deal with. We all have our things that we have dealt with as a child, as we get older, and that have not been dealt with. So I think traumas in my life have also affected my health tremendously. That has been a huge part, and he has been so supportive with that and listening to me rant on and try to let things go and try to come to terms with a lot of things that were unsettled, and that it will probably be a part of me the rest of my life. And I wouldn't change that for the world because that has made me who I am. But I think that it has taken a toll on my physical body. So that was the first thing that I wanted to do and work on. That means getting rid of people. That means letting go, forgiveness, and getting rid of negative
people and energy.
Yeah, people and energy, and putting energy towards things that make me more happy and not towards people that don't deserve my energy. And I have been a people pleaser. I have been someone that wants to make everybody happy and wants to make sure that everybody is okay. And I worry about people and I try to find solutions. That is who I am, and that has taken its toll on me. So anyway, that is one thing.
So that's the whole list, pretty much. Where do you want to go from there? What do you want to explain, or what do you want to tackle?
Okay, so let's start off because a lot of you have asked with the hyperbaric chamber. A lot of you have asked how that is working. So hyperbaric chamber has been amazing. We both do it. But in the process of the hyperbaric chamber, I have also been doing a sort of detox of the heavy metals while I'm also going in the hyperbaric chamber, which is, I keep saying NAC, which is totally not that. It's
ALA.
ALA. It's
Alpha
ALA.
lipoic acid.
Yes. So I have been doing that at the same time as going in the hyperbaric chamber to make sure that I am eliminating a lot of the heavy metals that I have had, because I have had a lot of dental work done from a child to a teenager. I mean, I have had so much work in my teeth. It's crazy. So for sure have heavy metal poisoning somewhere. So Alex, I'll explain a little bit more into the more scientific terms of what the hyperbaric chamber has, what it does for your body. Yeah, what it does for your body.
So basically, if you take a soda can and there's CO2 inside, there's a little gas bubble inside. So the way they make those soda cans is you put pressure, and with pressure, a gas can dissolve in liquid water in a solution. That's how they make Coca-Cola, like the gas bubble. Same thing in the hyperbaric chamber. So you breathe in oxygen under pressure. And with that pressure, it dissolves more oxygen into your blood, into your tissues. It goes into your bones, and it goes into your lymph system. And you can saturate your system with up to 10 times more oxygen than what the body's usually accustomed to. And with that extra oxygen, your cells can be more efficient at detoxing. They can repair more easily. So the body is
it's pretty much a fountain of youth.
It is. It's kind of kicking your healing mechanism from within with the extra oxygen. So that's what the purpose of the hyperbaric chamber is. Right. So it's not to fix a single problem. Mm-hmm. It's an overall general health of the body.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing it does, though, it's with the extra energy, the cell can now push some of the heavy metals outside of the cells and dump it into the blood. Yeah. Because you need a certain voltage differences to take a heavy element like mercury and transfer it outside of the cell through that membrane wall. So you need energy for that. When the cell has more energy, it can push that mercury molecule out, then it floats into the body. So you don't want it to be reabsorbed somewhere else. So you need a binding agent, like ALA, for example, to bind to that mercury so you can excrete it through urine or number 3. So the hyperbaric chamber, works in combination with, let's say, a detox program like ALA, for example.
Right. We go to doctor's office, and a lot
Doctors
of the times,
don't like me.
first of all, they don't like you because we're asking too many questions, and he knows a little too much, and he kind of,
I put them back. I put them back in their place. They don't know what I'm talking about. When the doctors tell you that you need anti-acid for your stomach ulcer, I'm putting him back in the spot. I'm saying you don't know what you're talking about.
And they always ask him, "Are you a doctor?"
And I said, "No, I'm educated." And you're stupid. I'm sorry. What?
Because there could be doctors.
I don't. If they're doctors and they're listening to you, then good.
We're not generalizing. This is our personal experience. This is what we have experienced through years and years. So I don't want to put everybody in the same bunch. I'm sure there's amazing doctors out there that have helped a lot of people, and that, whether it's nurses, doctors. But for my personal experience, and this has been going on since I can remember, since I'm a little kid, it has not been good.
I think we have to say that for FDA purposes, this is not medical advice. This is only for entertainment purposes only. So go consult your own medical professional for your opinion. Yes. But now that being said, I can't stand doctors. They're always wrong. And they're cocky too.
That's the thing. We had a bad experience with doctors, and they literally ask him, because he is, he's like I told you, he's an encyclopedia, and sometimes it's hard to follow. But on a doctor level, sometimes the terminologies and things like that, they right away they ask you, "Are you a doctor?" Because they're like not impressed, but they're sort of blown away by the information.
They're threatened.
They are threatened. They're threatened because
same thing with the dentist. But anyway,
it's a whole different dentist. Let's not even go there. Yeah. I actually, going there is that I got all of my mercury fillings removed. I got them all removed. We had done this big procedure. You can't go to the dentist and remove them. It's actually dangerous to do so because you're rattling everything. And anyway, I got that done. So we got all of my heavy metals removed. I've been doing the hyperbaric chamber. I've been doing the ALA treatment.
The problem with your mercury fillings is there's
every time
vapors.
I would chew, every time I was chewing my food,
there's mercury vapors that you absorb, and they stay in your body for life, and they accumulate.
Yeah.
And at some point, your body becomes overwhelmed. So the dentist will say that it's safe. It is absolutely not safe. And they've even made some tests.
Even root canals. People that get root canals. I have a lot of my teeth are root canals. Most of my teeth are root canals. What happens is it's creating damage to your nerves. So the electrical current
it's a dead tooth. They're maintaining a dead body inside your gums.
Right.
So it's like gangrene almost. Like you have a dead tissue that they maintain there, and they put a cap on it. But it's festering bacteria in your bone, in your jaw, and it keeps...
Right. And the electrical current of your nervous system also is being disrupted. I mean, it's like there's no more flow because they killed a tooth, right? So that's a whole other issue. But that has been a part of my health journey and trying to figure out root of problems. So that's some of the things. Ozone, yeah. So we end up getting an ozone machine. This goes back years. That was actually your first thing that we started with was ozone. And so I drink the ozone, and we also do it in a different way. And I'm not going to get into it, but you can research on how you can do ozone. I know.
She doesn't want me to talk about that.
I don't want to get too gory into the details of how you do ozone, but ozone has helped tremendously. These are all the things that I'm going to be saying have helped me tremendously. So there's nothing in this that has not helped me at all. So to me, these are like my top favorites, if you will, like must-haves or things that you need to do if you are dealing with a lot of chronic pains like me.
Ozone is good for anything that's infectious or autoimmune.
Right.
So ozone will kill any bacteria, viruses, even fungus and pathogens on contact. So that's one thing that's good for ozone.
Yeah.
The second thing is it's an immune system modulator. So if your immune system is low, it's going to bring it up. And if it's too high in the autoimmune spectrum, it's going to bring it down. So it modulates your immune system to the right level.
Yeah, balance.
It activates certain pathways in the body that triggers your own body to produce more antioxidants. One of them is SOD, superoxide dismutase. It's a long word, but it basically says that your body has the ability to produce more of its own antioxidant to defend against viruses and bacteria. So that's why ozone is more of a long-term solution.
Yeah, so that's helped me tremendously with my stomach. Drinking the ozone water has helped kill the bacteria.
Yeah.
And obviously probiotics, you got to put back the bacteria.
The good ones.
The good ones, and also apple cider. Yeah, and apple cider vinegar, sauerkraut. I have a lot of, exactly, sauerkraut. So I eat a lot of that. So I try to mix in the vitamins, the probiotic vitamins, and also the natural way through sauerkraut. And I have also been drinking apple cider vinegar before and after I eat.
That's to re-put more acid in the
Yeah.
stomach.
Yeah.
So the apple cider vinegar will make your stomach more acid. Therefore,
Right.
it's going to help maintain that protection. So the bacteria that you're killing off with the ozone and these other techniques, they're
Yeah.
not going to come back because the apple cider vinegar is going to make it more acidic.
Bone broth as well. Bone broth has helped. It helps in so many ways. It's helped with my stomach.
Bone broth has purposes.
Right.
It allows you to have certain nutrients that is very hard to get in regular food, like in a salad or a steak, because it's dissolving collagen and bones and calcium and a lot of minerals that are really hard to digest and get.
Yes.
So it's easier for your body to get a boost of those minerals that you may be lacking, especially if you have digestive issues. So if you have digestive issues, you're not going to digest your meals well, you're not going to absorb your nutrients well, and then you're on this loop cycle that you're not getting minerals, therefore you're not producing enough acid, you're not digesting.
It's a vicious circle.
And it's a circle.
Yeah.
So the bone broth will help you get a boost of minerals that are hard to get, like zinc, like calcium, like magnesium, potassium, in a form that's easily digestible for you when you're sick. So that's why the bone broth.
So the bone broth.
But make sure it's grass-fed.
Yeah.
With no hormones and no...
That should be in all of your food as well. And it's so hard nowadays to get food that are grown properly with no hormones and pesticides and all of that horrible stuff that is making us sick.
And there's a trust issue too, because even if you see on the packaging grass-fed, we don't know, right?
Now it's become that there's a lot
scamming.
They're trying to say it's grass-fed, but it's not grass-fed. So it's a whole thing of trusting, and unfortunately, it's hard to trust because
like even if you see the farm, how do you know which animals, how the animals were raised?
We get a lot of our meat from, we've gone all the way to the farms and go get it ourselves, and we also have a company that we order, and it's all farm supposedly so we're trusting and we're hoping that it is, but I think it's it's everything. I mean, from your organic vegetables to your meats to your eggs to all of that, the healthiest way would obviously be organic.
Well, what it is guaranteed, if they don't say grass-fed, guarantee it's not grass-fed.
Yeah,
so guarantee it's corn-fed with hormones, with antibiotics.
That's true.
So if it's not written grass-fed, for sure it's
right.
It's
so
bad.
To me, it's better to spend a little bit more money, taking the chance of it being grass-fed versus buying something that because it's cheaper and on sale and I know not everybody can afford that, but for me, your health is important. Without your health, you have nothing. And that's something that I have learned with dealing with all of this. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the amazing things in the world, and without that, there's no life. You're a vegetable.
And the companies are very conniving. Like if you take the salmon, for example, they're gonna say Atlantic salmon, right? Atlantic, like it's from the ocean, Atlantic. But it's not. It's from the Atlantic, but it's farm raised in the Atlantic.
Right.
And they feed them grain and soy and corn to raise these salmon. It's not wild caught salmon in the Pacific.
Yeah.
So even if they say Atlantic salmon, that's farm raised. It's a bad salmon. You don't want to eat that.
Alex is very passionate about this. So
because they're all scammers.
Alex.
They are. The companies are lying and they're scamming you right and left.
Yeah,
it gets to me.
It's sad. It's sad that this is what it has come to. Making people sick through all kinds of things. It's sad. So
they're playing on words to deceive the consumer.
Yeah.
Making you think that it's healthy, and it's really not. And they're poisoning and they're killing people to make more profit and more money, and they don't care if they hurt you and they kill you. They really don't.
Yeah. It's sad. It's
so
really
you
sad
have to
that
get
humanity has gone to that. And I know that it's not everybody, but when you start putting one in one and it all interconnects with different things, it's scary. The healthcare system, the government, all of it. It's scary. When you start realizing certain things and you start going down that path, it's pretty scary, and you feel you have no choice but to do things on your own, figure things out on your own. No one else is going to care more than us about our health, about our well-being. So it is super important that you do your own research, you get your own information, and not trust anybody,
Yeah, trust yourself. And there's a big debate, vegan or carnivore, right? Meat or not meat. But a lot of times they're going to compare, let's say, a vegan diet with bad meat diet. Bad cows that are eating corn, soy, and antibiotics. And they're going to say, see, the people that are eating the meat are not necessarily healthier, but that's not what you should be comparing it to.
Right.
It's what's the healthiest diet for a human being.
And I think everybody else's body reacts differently as well. So someone might be better
or have different needs.
have different needs,
different nutritional
exactly.
deficiencies.
Right. So we're not saying for you to go out there and be a keto, but for me, plant-based made me more sick. And I love my little animals and I feel so bad. And I tell them thank you every time I eat them. But it's either, you know, it's a health thing. It's either I'm really sick or I eat my little animals and I feel so bad. But
when you're vegan, you're gonna miss a lot on the vitamins
proteins
that are fat solubles. Your vitamin A, your vitamin D, your vitamin K2, you're gonna lack your B12. There's a lot of stuff that you're not gonna get purely from vegetables.
Right.
All of your iodine. Oh, that's something we forgot to put on the list. Iodine.
Oh yeah, iodine.
Iodine is very important.
Brazil nuts as well.
Iodine and Brazil nuts because
Yes.
you need the selenium.
I think, you know what, we'll put a list on the side of the screen so that people
but it's
don't
not
miss
a recommendation because it doesn't mean like we're not gonna
I'm
put.
gonna write what works
Yeah.
for me, and it's up to you to do your own research, to check it out, and maybe try things here and there and see what works for you. But I will put a list for you because it is a long list. So yeah, Brazil nuts, iodine is super important.
And one thing is, a lot of times, two things will work synergetically. So if you take iodine, you need selenium to balance it out. So selenium is from Brazil nut. If you take zinc, you'll need the copper. So you need a ratio of one or the other. So you don't want to overdo one without taking the other.
Yeah.
Magnesium works with calcium. Potassium works with sodium and
Right.
salt. So you always need to balance certain elements together.
Right.
It's very important.
Yeah. Okay,
What
moving
else?
on. So one of the things that have helped me as well, I do have a mass, and it's about 8 centimeters on my right ovary. I do not want to get it operated. I don't want to touch it. I'm monitoring it right now, but I have heard so many good things about castor oil and the castor oil packs. So I have been recently doing that. I have been putting castor oil on my stomach, on my mass, and this has been recent, so I can't really tell you has it gotten bigger or smaller, but I got it monitored recently and it actually has reduced a tiny little bit, so that's really good. So I know a lot of people have said castor oil packs are amazing for so many different issues. I also put it on my kidney because I have an inflamed kidney as well, so I'm in the process of trying that out, but I'll keep you updated as far as the castor oil packs.
The doctors said that they don't know why you have an inflamed
Yeah, they
kidney,
didn't know why I
but
have.
Our opinion, it's on the same side as the mass, and we think that the mass is blocking a little bit the urethra, whatever that canal that connects the kidney to the bladder, and if it does, that might
cause a
bit
bit
of inflammation in the kidney.
That's what we're assuming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been putting it on my mass, and I have been putting it in a little bit in my belly button because I know you have to put some in your belly button, and then you keep the pack. And actually, Alex had pulled one of his muscles going to the gym, pulled the muscle in the sort of the inside of the groin, I would say,
the hip flexor.
The hip flexor, and we have been putting castor oil packs with.
It's been helping.
It's been helping, right? So we've been putting it on that with cayenne pepper, ginger, grounded ginger, and turmeric, and then castor oil. So we've been putting that with, it helps with the inflammation, and it has helped him tremendously. So that's a good example of how castor oil can work. And I put it all over my face, all over my body. I love it. I put that with
take a bath in it.
Oh, if I could, I would take a bath in it. I have actually, something that I've been trying is putting castor oil with my red light therapy, and I completely see the difference in how much it hydrates my skin. So red light therapy and castor oil, I feel made a huge difference, is a big difference when it comes to, getting deeper and hydrating better. So that's something that's more on a superficial, but I still wanted to let you know about that. And so
vitamin D maybe?
And recently what we end up buying is a vitamin D lamp. Like I mentioned to you, that I am always inside working, barely outside, which I should do more. That is on our list, is to do more things. I work. We work. We don't have any children. So to us, our children and our baby is our work. So I think that that's something that is so important, that we start doing a little bit more fun things and activities and enjoying things.
Maybe
we used to do this. We would travel, we'd do a million things, and it's, everyday life, the hustle and bustle and the grind of every day takes over, and you're consumed by your working, and it's that vicious circle. So that's something that we are going to try to do, right?
Maybe people don't know, but the reason we say to go outside is because the vitamin D is produced by your skin when it's exposed to ultraviolet light from the sun.
Well, I do feel that the sun gives you a boost of energy, an endorphin,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Is that the
I
right
don't know,
word?
maybe.
It gives you a boost. It's so...
It makes me sweat. I don't like it.
Alex doesn't like that. He's more... He
I like
loves
the
the
rain.
rain. I love the sun.
A
I'm
nice
all about
thunderstorm,
sun.
you know?
Oh my God. We went to Jamaica one year and it was pouring rain and everyone is hiding from the rain. We're all underneath this roof and he is just like in a big donut,
like a big duck.
in a big donut in a pool, and he's just there and everyone's like, what in the world is this guy doing? And yeah, I'm like, that's my husband. Yep. But I'm more sun. He loves like the warm rain, like when it's warm, not cold rain.
Yeah, not cold rain, like hot rain on the beach. That's the best.
He loves it when it's like gray. I need sun. I think we're from two different planets. So clearly my planet is the sun and I'm
from a rainy planet.
He's from a rainy planet. So that's a whole different, we're going into a whole different thing with the whole spiritual realm. We're completely different species.
So, but basically, you bought a vitamin D lamp to increase your exposure in your vitamin D without taking the pills, because the pills are basically oxidized. They're destroyed in the fabrication process. It's artificial.
Right.
It's not doing the same thing at all for your body.
Exactly. So that's something we recently invested in. And yeah,
it's going to take 3 to 4 months to raise your level of vitamin D. So we're going to monitor to see how that goes. But vitamin D is good for so many things. It helps with calcium absorption.
With my RA as well.
We're hoping.
We're hoping that it'll help with the RA. I don't have enough vitamin D. I'm probably deficient there, and so we're hoping that that's going to help.
We're hoping
so I'll keep you posted on that.
Increasing the vitamin D.
Yeah.
Increasing the ALA to reduce the mercury, increasing the iodine and the selenium.
Yeah.
That will decrease the bromine, which is a bad element that we accumulate when you don't have enough iodine. So we're hoping that in the next 6 months, with all those things, you're going to start feeling better, and we hope to see it in your RA and your fingers.
We'll keep you posted if you want to, have little updates and stuff like that. I wanted to ask one question to both of us, because I think that a lot of people don't talk about this as well, is that how are you dealing with the chronic pain, and then how your significant other or the person that is around you and supporting you, how they're feeling. And for me, it's important, I guess, to let people know how I deal with it and how you're dealing with it. Do you want to go first?
How I feel?
How have you been dealing with your lemon wife?
I feel a lot of times I feel a bit helpless, because when you see someone that you love that's in pain, and even though I do some research, like at the moment, you can't do much about it, right? She's crying, she's in pain in bed. All you can do is watch and, bring her a heating pad or a glass of water, and you feel helpless a bit. You feel like you would want to do so much more. And I know that the answer is not going to be with the medical system. So I kind of take it upon my shoulders to do more research and try to find out a cure, try to find out a problem. But it's hard for me because I can't enjoy life or have a project or be happy if I know my wife is sick and crying. So it's kind of like she's in pain, but we both go through it. The family is affected.
Yeah, I think it affects everybody. Yeah. Like you think that because you're dealing with the health issue that it's only affecting you, but it affects everybody around you. I can't sleep well at night. Right. If I'm worried, if I go to bed tonight, is she going to wake up with kidney stones? Is she going to wake up with a chronic headache? Is she going to wake up with... So in other words, I'm causing you anxiety. Yes, but it's okay. I'm well worth it. You're well worth it. Till death do us part. Exactly. But yeah, I get it. That sucks. So. It sucks for the other person. It's not always easy when you're dealing with it, but also when you're dealing with somebody who has that. And seeing them suffer and seeing them, struggle, and on my part... And understanding. Like, nobody around you understand what you go through. Exactly. That's people are like, how are you feeling? Yes. Oh, yeah, okay, bye. Like, and then they go by their day. They don't see the daily struggle of someone who has... You're not bleeding. Pain. Okay, go to the doctor, bye. Yeah. It's not the same. When you're living with someone, you see the whole in and outs of chronic pain and dealing with health issues that other people don't necessarily see. So what what we're dealing with on a daily, people don't understand, don't get it. So that's another thing. That's where I feel very alone. As much as Alex is there, I feel alone in my daily dealing with that. No one can understand but you. Mentally, I feel mentally alone. You feel alone, you feel a little bit isolated, you just feel no one gets it. And I also feel that I get tired. I want to be like everybody else. I want to be able to do things that normal people do, and that sometimes for me, it's like a daily struggle, getting out of bed and doing things. So feeling good and being able to be myself, be back to what I was, that's something that I think is a struggle with me, and it's hard, and I want to be well, and I want to do regular things and not feel tired or exhausted or not feeling good. Like every time my husband, you know, he comes in the morning, he's like, how are you feeling today? He's like, what's hurting today? You know, it's like, it's inevitable. Every day I'm dealing with chronic pain, you know? So one day I'd love to wake up and feel like
I'm always on her ass. Did you take your magnesium? Did you take your potassium? Did you take your mastic gum? Did you take
But that's because you care. That's because you care. Yes, he's a little bit.
Did you drink enough water today?
He's my like, not my soldier, my what do you call it? He's my sergeant. He's my sergeant. You know, he like, did you do this? Did you that? Did you drink enough water today? You know, but I need that because I need someone a little bit more on my butt, you know, like to like be like, did you do this? Because it's a lot, right? It can get overwhelming, especially that's a thing that I love that has been so helpful and so supportive. And he's the best caregiver. I swear to you, he is like amazing. He is so supportive, helps me. He's patient. Anyway, I thought that this was important that he be a part of this because to me, it's not a me, it's a we. He's dealing with it as much as I'm dealing with it. And I thought that it was important that you hear it from his mouth as well. So I will leave a list of all of the things that I think are really important that have helped me and that I've seen changes.
We can talk about what's better, like what's a bit better.
But yeah,
like, we're hoping that the canker sores are gone.
Yeah, canker sores, like I said, canker sores are gone, period. Period pain is, I don't even take, I take 0 Advils. I used to take a bottle, like the small bottle of 16. Every month I would go through a whole bottle. And I even had codeine at some point because my period cramps are horrible. I have gone to 0. I take nothing, which is insane. If you know me, it's like, you would be like, it's a miracle. So
kidney
that's
stones.
Something.
We had an ultrasound maybe less than a month ago, which showed no
I've
stones.
actually had kidney stones twice. So it's not a one-time thing. I've had it twice, and it was maybe 7 months ago or even 8 months ago, the last time I had. And
the last scan
so far,
shows,
so
I
good.
think we're on the right track for
yeah,
stones.
there is no, oh, we're taking potassium water.
I said potassium citrate.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Potassium citrate is to help with kidney stones.
Exactly.
You don't have the runs anymore.
Yeah.
Canker sore. Ulcers seem to be gone.
Ulcers had completely, I was dealing with it for, first of all, it's been 3 years on and off. And then it started creeping in horribly the last couple of months where I wasn't even able to eat. I couldn't eat anything, like 0. Like every time I would put anything in my stomach, it was horrendous. And I would be in agonizing pain for a good like 2 hours. And then obviously had the runs. So that has completely, like, I'm back on track, back to my normal. I can eat things. That has changed completely. So, and without taking antacids. Yeah. So that's important to say. So those are the things I think that have helped, and my energy level as well. And the hyperbaric chamber too. There's something that I've also been dealing with is I've had a lot of trouble breathing. I'm asthmatic, but I have had trouble breathing completely in a different way than asthma. And I think it's inflammation in my esophagus. The airways, I'm sorry, in the esophagus.
It could be due to acid reflux from the esophagus.
Exactly.
That little bubbles of acid goes into the
little
airways.
Particles of acid can go into the lung area and all that stuff. But that has subsided as well. And I think the hyperbaric chamber has helped with that.
Yes.
It's been helping. So the hyperbaric chamber has been helping. And what else? I mean, oh, and my skin. I've also had a lot of breakouts. That's another thing. I used to get a lot of breakouts on the whole chin area, which is obviously related to hormones. So
it could be due to gallbladder. If your gallbladder doesn't work well,
too, yes.
Because the gallbladder
it's creating an imbalance.
Pushes the toxins out of your body. And if you don't, it comes out through the skin.
Yeah. So I never had acne. I never had acne through my teenage years. And all of a sudden, I started getting a whole bunch of acne on my chin. And it was like nonstop. It was coming. As soon as you get rid of a couple of them, they come back, you know?
I don't like the makeup either. I say the makeup is bad. She puts on makeup. I don't like makeup. Makeup is pretty much putting crap on your face.
It is, though. I can't disagree with him. But I try to find the cleanest makeup. And that's...
There's no such thing.
I try to find the cleanest makeup, but I'm not ready to give up on my makeup, okay? I gotta look beauty miss.
But no, you're beauty miss no matter what. With no makeup,
yes, I know. He thinks I look more pretty without makeup. So, but yeah, it's what makes me feel good. And to me, my mental state is important as well. So how I feel, when I put my makeup on, it's sort of my little moment to myself, and I enjoy it. So for the time being. But if you can, I guess, get as natural as possible when it comes to your products that you put on your skin, because obviously it's an organ and it's like the biggest organ of your body. So it's important. But yeah, so what was I saying?
That's it. No.
No. So I noticed a huge difference. I barely get any acne at all, and if I do, it might be like right before my period where I'm ovulating, and I get like a little pimple. But I used to get it all here, you know, and now completely gone. So acne was a big one. So adult acne is a real thing. It makes you feel horrible. It makes you feel like, you know, everyone's looking at it. It makes you feel self-conscious. It does take its toll on you, and I was dealing with that for like years. So it was a lot. It was heavy. On top, I know it's more of a superficial thing, but it does play with your mental state. It makes you feel less, I don't know, you feel like not good with that. So anyway, that was a big thing that changed as well. That is pretty much it. That is...
Before we wrap up, do you want to talk about Koakaya?
Oh, yes.
I end up to put their name in the mailing list.
Okay, so as he said it, he's my manager. Say it again.
Basically, Koakaya, we sell it very fast. So put your name in the mailing list at the bottom of the website. There's a place to put your mailing list. So put your email there. We're going to send emails maybe the night before we do a video. So when there's a bunch of new products that she's going to put out, we'll let the people know through the mailing list 12 hours ahead, so you can get a head start to make your purchases, because we do get a lot of comments. People watch the video and then they go online to go shopping and it's sold out already.
And I feel bad, and then I'm like, okay. So another thing too, a lot of you asked for the kimonos, and so we restocked kimonos. So if you want some of the kimonos and some of the products, we posted it. So I can't guarantee they won't be sold out. So
we've already sold out 2 before filming it.
Okay, so yeah. So I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll probably get more. Like I tell you, I'll be getting more jewelry. I always try to put a rotation. I always try to put things, whether it's back or changing things up, because I don't want it to be the same products all the time, you know? So some of the kimonos, I'll probably get more as well. Some of the jewelry, and next time I'm going to be doing a video on new home decor pieces that I'm so excited that come all the way from Indonesia. So I'm super excited to share them with you, and that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. I don't know if it's something that you would want to see more or hear about different subjects, maybe like spirituality and things that we believe in.
Maybe they don't want to see me. They like you. They don't want to see me.
They love you. They're gonna love you. But yeah, maybe we can talk about different things that we enjoy, if that's something that you'd be interested as well, getting to know us a little bit more, because I do, you know, it's DIYs, it's fashions, it's more, you know, surface things. But if you want to know more about
I'm not DIY fashion.
He's not that. Like
I told 100%.
Yeah, we are complete different, complete opposites, but it works. It works 18 years later. I mean, hello, it's got to be working, right? So yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and I love you so much. If I can help anyone get better and healthier through my own research and through his research, and help someone that's going through the same thing that I'm going through, I get you. I understand. Yeah, so anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing day. I will see you in my next video. It's going to be a come through with me. So, love you guys. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.